like Oda starts writing reveals, right? God Valley is a reveal, but in the middle of the reveal, there's like a devil on his shoulder, like, add something new. Do it. Do it. We briefly talked about this at the end of the last chapter, but I am cooking up a big theory. I am cooking up a big theory about the three gods, the Earth God Raged, and all of that. I am beginning to cook up a theory that those are the ancient weapons, or whatever the representation of the ancient weapons once were. Because I was thinking about the Sea God Rage and how that might be Poseidon, especially after slaying the sun, which would be Nika. I was thinking about these things, and I am starting to see a bizarre pattern that makes a lot of sense. Because if someone slayed the sun, the liberator, right, and the sea god raged, now my mind immediately would have gone to the creation of the devil fruits and Davy D. Jones, right? Because theoretically, again, if devil fruits come from dreams, which are meant to like free people, the world government wouldn't like that. That's the whole connection there. I would have thought that would have been Davy D. Jones, but what if it's not? What if it's... So I am thinking about this. I find this very suspicious. Very suspicious. Man killed the sun and became God, and the sea god stormed. Like, hypothetically, if this was potentially something akin to Emu, something akin to the world government slaying the liberator, and the sea god stormed, which in this case would be the ancient weapon, right? For like the fishmen and stuff. A lot of this stuff is like, I'm seeing a pattern. Poseidon? Yeah, what did I say? Poseidon. Did I say Neptune? I probably said Neptune. Neptune, Poseidon, or whatever. Oh, you go what I'm talking about. Bro, what is the title? It's time! Chapter 1160. We are, in fact, in the thousands. I saw the title. God Valley Incident. Well, I mean, I guess there's no speculation. It's God Valley time. Honestly, still a bit surprised that Oda is actually showing it to us. I'm gonna be totally real with you. I thought it was gonna be a situation where everything is pointing towards God Valley, and then it's like, well, actually, no. But no. Volume 42, The Shrine to Odin and His Companions Overlooking the Flower Capital. What a awfully peaceful moment, almost as if something was about to happen, huh? Very suspect. I don't know what's going on with Yamato, I'm be real with you. If this was the return to Wano that I prophesized, then I think my prophecy ball should be taken away. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay. Feast your eyes upon the Davy clan. Oh, the most hated of people. You can go back generations and you'll never find a single person who loved your kind. Shun them, isolate them. You're just buccaneers, aren't you? Wait. You're just more buccaneers? Is this supposed to be like a... Let's finish reading. Let's finish reading first. Hold up. Their lives pose a danger to us all. Not so fast, folks. Don't throw anything yet. If we can wipe them out once and for all, this is a blessed day. Okay, so... I mean... Naming a kind of people after a functional thing that existed was already odd. So, buccaneers. Let's find the definition for buccaneer. A buccaneer, a pirate originally operating the Caribbean. Okay. A person who acts recklessly adventurous and unscrupulous. I was very intrigued by how Kuma was named a buccaneer. Because, like, why a buccaneer? Seems like a bit of an odd name. Huh? And what if it's actually like a whole blanket term? But then again, interesting. Very interesting and very sus. Have feeling some Davy clan members are buccaneers, but not all buccaneers are Davy clan members. There are so many like individual like the Venn diagram between all of these characters has grown so complex because we now have like the Davy clan, we have the people of the D, and we have someone like Blackbeard who is both, right? And I'm just like, so figuring out what aspects of which are attributed to which, because we have Blackbeard who is both, Luffy who is of just like the D lineage, we have Kuma who is just a buccaneer, and then we have people who are, I don't know what to attribute to who. Okay, let's see. He's wearing a straw hat. Very suspect. Very suspect.
Hey, no knives, my friends. If they die, that's a penalty on you. Oh.
Segregate them. Who says that? Literally, who says that? Segregate them. Who says that? Who the hell says that? Modern cultural understandings of piracy are typically based on privateers and buccaneers, yet these terms denote different legal statuses and activities during the early 8th century, although all three terms refer to the private naval operations that include looting and military operations. The actions of privateers and buccaneers received either full or partial legal support and recognition. Do we suspect that the buccaneers? No. No, that was like we've already had too many of these. I was gonna say, do we think that buccaneers might have historically somehow been members of what was once the world government, and they overthrew the world government? But I feel like we've already had so many different characters like that it's like another one. But then again, it would make sense. It would perfectly fit with Blackbeard's whole thing. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading.
You did well to find them, Garling. It was simply an act of fate.
So this guy is an ass, and he is dumb. Bro is gonna write everything off to an act of fate. So is Luffy punching you in the face also gonna be an act of fate? Question.
Now, let's introduce the favorites to win the individual competition.
I'll be dead soon. Please take my boys to someone kind-hearted to raise them into men. Just don't let him have them. Bro. You know how you start like a One Piece flashback and you're just like, please don't die to everyone you like? I'm looking at Garling and I'm just like, man, why does it have to be a flashback? Why do I never find out, or rather, why do I already know that he is alive? I'm so happy that there's someone I could just like straight up hate. I'm so happy about that. We never gonna see her face. Clearly there is something with her face, right? Is it the eyes? Does she have something with her eyes? I don't know. Because why else would he not see her face? Her face will have a big red nose like, but Oda just cannot draw mothers? That's not true. We saw Ace's mom. We have seen Ace's mom. So that's not true. I just don't understand why, like, is this just like a intrusive thought of Oda? Like, at this point it has to be. Like, Oda starts writing reveals, right? God Valley is a reveal. But in the middle of the reveal, there's like a devil on his shoulder like, add something new. Do it. Do it. Add something new. It has to be. Bro is writing a goddamn reveal and adds another thing on top. She'll just be Red Nami? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, let's see. Let's see. I don't know who you are, but I want to save your kids. If I don't do something, I'm going to collapse under the weight of it all. He did something. Big W's to Dragon, he did something. Chapter 1160, he did something. 38 years ago? 39 years ago? But he did do something. Big W's, big W's, big W's. We've already introduced the 13 super rare rabbits. They're worth 10,000 points each. Whoa! You know why the celestial dragons are evil? It's not because they're doing evil things. It's because they're doing the same thing we've talked about video game companies. They're using the obfuscation of money to basically give their players a different sense of what they're actually achieving. Why 10,000 points? What is a point? We're talking about money and prizes. What's a point? Just use money. That's how you know they're evil. They're using the same exact strategies.
In addition, there are 150 rare rabbits. The hunt will begin in 1 hour. All you rabbits better start running. Is he serious? Are they really going to start killing us?
Third time he's done something? He did something in Logtown and Goa Kingdom 2. I know, but it's a meme. It's a meme. It's a meme. I do really wonder, I saw people in my Discord were talking about this as well. I'm really curious how much GARP has talked to Dragon. Right? That's what I'm very interested in. Because I'm just like, there was the thing where GARP talked to Dragon directly. At least that's what's heavily implied, because the way Basically, he says like, oh, I talked to your dad in Logtown something something, and that's when he reveals that his dad is Dragon, right? This is in post-Denny's lobby. And I wonder how much they would have interacted about this, and how much they would have talked about this. Because didn't even Rox say that, like, GARP might as well be a pirate or something? That's what I'm interested in. The goat dragon did something. Okay. We just have to survive for 3 weeks and we're free.
Just run for it. It's our only hope. There has to be a good place to hide.
Bro, 3 weeks is crazy.
Let the hunt begin.
Little rabbits, where are you? Bro, they look so weird. He said he heard Dragon saw him, if I recall correctly. Yeah, there's like it's hard to say what exactly is meant there. I think someone posted a direct screenshot. Hold on, let me look at my Discord. Yeah, so in the panel, what he didn't tell you, he said he saw you off at Logtown. That is the actual panel. So if he talked on the phone or what, this is he said he saw you off at Logtown, which seems like a direct communication, but who knows. I want to insert goofs about this because this is just like misery, but like I don't think I can. Hush baby, don't cry. Found myself some rabbits. No, just let my baby live. Please, I beg of you. And then he just cackles like a weirdo. Goddamn bozo. I want to do goofs and gaffs about this, but I don't think I can. He still has this, he still has some communication with the son. It seems like it. It seems like it. But we don't know the exact extent. And that's what I mean. I'm very, very curious to see how far that goes. Misery. Please spare my life. Don't kill my husband. We need the boys to arrive, like ASAP. We need the boys over here.
The land of gods, sacred Marie Joie. Oh, whoa, yes, get him! The Figuerlin family is in the lead, but the Bavech and Man-Mayer families are in close pursuit.
Ugh. Bozo.
Lord Garling.
He's a cringe lord is what he is.
Who did you bet on? The Shepherd's in the family competition, Gunko for the individual race. Are you sure? She's great, but she's still just the
knighthood's pet, devoted blade of God. Bro, did Oda play Elden Ring? I think Oda played Elden Ring. The devoted blade of God, Gunko. Jesus Christ. We actually have like full-blown titles to them now. And not that I'm complaining, it sounds badass. Are we just gonna have a chapter of them going around and killing people? Chalk up another excellence bonus for the Man-Mayer family. Devoted Blade of God, Saint Gunko. I'm so jealous of Saint Garling. He's gonna bag this beauty of a wife. Look, nothing's official yet. God's Blade because she's Emu's vessel? Yes. Well, I mean, technically we don't know if she's actually Emu's vessel already, right? She could just be like a tryhard for Emu, and that's why she became the devoted Blade of God. Like, if she has the title of Blade of God, I would expect that she is already, like, already doing stuff, right? But who knows? Who knows? I am still very, very surprised that Shaki is actually full-blown captured. I've talked about this before, but I didn't expect it to be just like a straight-up, like, hostage situation. I was expecting something else to happen. Meanwhile, Oda, when the Celestial Dragons are on screen pitch black, I mean, yeah, like, this is just like, on one hand, I'm kind of happy that I have someone to just, like, straight-up hate. Because, like, whatever justification you give, whatever kind of backstory that he gives to the Celestial Dragons, like, I think stuff like this is just, like, there is no conversation to be had. This is just, like, literally evil. Period. I have a theory now that because of the Davy Clan man in the start of the chapter uses a straw hat, the straw hat from Marie Joie is not from Joy Boy, but from Davy Jones. I think there is a very, very good chance the straw hat is Davy Jones something, yes. And, like, whenever I see a straw hat in this series, I perk up immediately, and it is very, very odd that Oda threw straight up a straw hat here, yes. I do find that extremely suspect. Very, very true. Okay.
Oh! You got yourself real high up there. Don't worry, you can jump down. I've got a nice cushion of thorns waiting. No, stop. Please, no, that's my son. Don't worry, I'll catch you. Such a touching display.
Where's Rocks? Where's Rocks? Where's Rocks? The boys gotta pull up, I swear to God. They gotta pull up. They gotta pull up. Okay, what is Dragon doing? If I defy the Celestial Dragons and try to save someone, my entire platoon will be beheaded. Oda's just gonna turn Dragon into like freaking Reiner, I swear to God. Summers is like Buggy if he was actually dangerous, something like that. Something like that. I mean, Jesus Christ. Is everyone here then? Of course, sir.
Stupid dragon. Where is he gone? He better not be on that island. Oh, I found him. Are they 10,000? No, that's Kuma.
The 10,000 point Buccaneer.
Don't waste your time dreaming of salvation from this game. We have to escape the game itself.
Very based advice. Let's get off of God Valley together. They've still got hope.
Yo, get a taste of my killer 10-shot rifle.
Now, if you were holding dragon stocks, how many people in this story have ever laid a finger on a celestial dragon? Tranquilizer gun? Very true, but I don't think it really matters. Now, I mean, I guess it matters, but like really, with the celestial dragons, I don't really think it does matter. That's crazy. I've really done it now. Bro, you have. You have. Both at 17, Luffy punches a celestial dragon to save a fishman. Dragon shoots one to save a slave, like father, like son. I mean, man, the reunion between Kuma and them must have been insane, right? And with Dragon. It must have been insane, Dragon meeting them later on. The two people during Reverie almost killed Charlos. Yeah, and that was like a whole mess as well. We could open up the, hold up. Where's the picture? Rip Bozo! Sadly, he's alive! Whoever made this thumbnail is the GOAT. Rip Bozo! This is one of my favorite screenshots from all of One Piece, by the way. One of my favorite screenshots of all time. He used what he had. I think he would have used a real bullet if it was loaded. I mean, based on my current read of Dragon and what's going on, yes. I think if the gun had a real bullet, he would have pulled the trigger. Like, I think at this point, he is just like, it's over. Right? Like, maybe if it was a real bullet and made more noise, maybe he wouldn't have pulled the trigger for, like, sneaky reasons. But he's blatantly attacking them, right? Like, functionally, it's over. It's over. Okay.
Huh? To the east of the island? What is that? It's the Rocks pirates, and not just them. There are all kinds of pirate crews piling up, or pulling up, rather. Yar!
So let's see if my conspiracy theory about rocks coming from the east is gonna be important. Because remember what I said, why specify from the east and specify from the east again? What a quirky little detail. Almost as if that's where the sun comes from. Let's see. Bro, I have never been more happy to see rocks. You gotta pull up. You gotta pull up, my guy. Let's see. There it is! Look at them! They're aura farming already, bro. Look at them! Look at them!
Alright, folks. Shaki, treasure, devil fruits. There's no point to us killing each other over them. I propose a temporary team-up. Bring back the treasure, and we'll split it even. No complaints about that, I trust. The Rocks Pirates.
Why is he pulling on why is he pulling on his hair? What the hell does mean? Double page aura spread so tough. I mean, honestly, if they're gonna come in here and just beat them up, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because they're on the west blue, so if they're going west, they need to come from the east. Yeah, but why? I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about why Oda chose to specify that. He could have easily said the rocks pirates are sailing in. Why specify that they're coming from the east? Why specifically take the word east and put it in the chapter? Twice. 99% of the time, the directions are never specified. Literally not in a million years just be like, Luffy arrived in Water 7 from the south. No. There doesn't need to be a reason. We'll see about that. Let's see.
But we can't split Shaki. She's gonna fall in love with whoever saves her first, obviously. Yeah, you're not gonna beat me to her. Shaki's gonna fall in love with whoever gets the most treasure. You have fun with that. I'm just concerned about my friend. And if she falls in love with me, well, I'm not complaining. Based.
What are you talking about, Newgate? But if I save Shaki, then maybe Roger will be grateful to me? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Wang Ji stayed behind on the island. We'll ban him from her bar. You all right? The entire world could turn upside down. So Wang Ji staying behind, that's extremely suspect. Surely, right? The East mention feels like the same subtle moon placement on Oda's panels. Feels like a subtle Chekhov's gun to me. Look, I think I've read Oda's writing enough to be like, whenever he chooses a extremely specific word, I'm like, why would you choose that word? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe by the end of this arc, we're gonna have Blackbeard saying that he is the god of liberation and the god of the sun, and that his father is Nika. See about that. The liberator who came to free the slaves. Came with the sun. We'll see about that. See about that. Okay. You're all fools! The entire world could turn upside down, and Shaki would never pay attention to you.
Are you gonna give me a devil fruit, Linlin?
How the hell did this crew do anything? Like, this is a bunch of clowns. They aura farm with every single panel, but they're literally a bunch of clowns. Like, come on. Sun that rose from the east on the God Valley Dark Nightmare? Let's see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Fire! Ignore them! Charge through! Look out! You're wasting your time, Navy. Follow my lead, Rock's Pirate.
Why is he going full pirate? Why is he suddenly...
You're wasting your time, Navy.
Why is he suddenly full-on pirate mode? Didn't speak like that before. Intimidation? Actually, you're probably right. It might just be intimidation, and I kind of like that. Because, like, isn't there the whole thing with Blackbeard who he had, like, the things that he lit on fire? This is in the real world. Beard on fire? Was it his beard? No, he didn't exactly. That's what I thought. He burned like the little candle thingies. Yeah, right here. There we go. Slow burning fuses either in his beard or dangle them from his hat. Yeah, this is really, really cool. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Oh no! Pirates have arrived! What are you doing, Navy? If a single hair on our heads is mused...
Mused? Mused, I guess.
You'll all be hanged from the neck! Urgent! Report! Attention needed on the western coast.
Okay, so we already got Roger pulling up. So... How does little Dante and Virgil get split up here? Is the question. What happens with Dragon where he has to switch them up somehow, or like split them up?
It's the Roger Pirates!
Are you boys staying quiet? It's a miracle. Because it's Dante and Virgil. They're locked the hell in. Look at them. They're locked the hell in, bro. They're the boys touched by flame. Or marked by flame. Wait a minute, actually. Talk about this. The man marked by flame. I have said that I think it could be Shanks or Shamrock for a long time because of their hair. But I just realized that God Valley, the place where they were born and the place where like their history is basically written, like the fated island and all that, this whole thing goes up in smoke. Like their existence was touched by flame. So Kid did find the man marked by flame? Yeah, and that's like the weirdest thing. Let's see.
Move all the celestial dragons to the center of the island. They mustn't be harmed under any circumstances.
Can we please see at least a few of their helmets bopped open, please?
What's happening? It's like the end of the world. First rocks, now Roger. The Roger pirates have landed. Where? I'm gonna go rescue Shaki. None of the rest of you have a shot, so focus on the treasure.
Oda, why didn't you give Roger also a double page spread? What the hell's going on, bro? Why is Oda playing favorites? Look at how much space Rock's got. And Roger only...
Take Shaki back. Okay, sorry. Damn it. Can't focus on the game. What's going on here? Just do something.
Pull the Navy back and protect the Celestial Dragons. The Holy Knights of God are stepping in.
The Holy Knights of God.
When did they suddenly become Holy Knights of God? When did that happen? I thought they were just Holy Knights. Do you think Dragon blames himself for who Shamrock became since he failed to save him? I mean, I would assume so, right? Like, I mean, to be honest with you, when I'm talking about Dragon, I'm purely pulling on, like, tropes. Because we don't really know Dragon. Like, we really don't. So I'm pulling on tropes. But if he's going to be, like, the traumatized soldier who was like completely radicalized, completely traumatized by what he saw in God Valley, then realistically, I would assume that his mind pretty much only exists on God Valley. I would assume that he basically spends his days thinking about this day. Holy Knights was the translation. Oda's official name is Knights of God. Oh, so they just thought, you know what, let's do both. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens. Also, wait a minute. Now what I want to know is what was going through his mind when he saved Sabo. Because that must have been a bit of a flashback, huh? I mean, I guess he would have gone around and saving a bunch of people, right? So it's probably not that rare of an experience, but I didn't even think about that. The fact that he saved Sabo and Sabo is basically his right-hand man now, right? Also, my theory... I was moving too fast. My theory is the reason Shanks left the Holy Land after going there is he found out about his mom and couldn't pretend any longer. We'll see. We'll see. What if Dragon is the man marked by flame? The Dragon theory, like, I think, if you want, like, actual cold hard evidence, cold hard proof, I think Dragon is the single most likely scenario, yes. I talked about it in the Egghead video. Every bit of evidence points toward it just being Dragon. Like, straight up. Like, his ship in the manga is completely black. The whirlpool thing makes sense if he has a wind fruit. The fact that, what was it? Shiryu? Said something along the lines of it being someone with the government would make sense because Dragon is a revolutionary, right? I think there's a very, very, very decent chance it is literally just Dragon.
Pirates are landing on every shore! Fight back, battleships! Don't let them disembark! It might be too late for that. Oh, the pirates are all charging onto the island! We don't know what they're after!
They're just here to kick you around, as they should. Very based, very fun.
Hold on. Don't chop up my men like a plate of veggies. Yeah. Huh? Oh, that ship! It's Vice Admiral Garp! Here I am, baby!
Bro actually pulled up and also pulled an aura move. Garp's fleet.
Reinforcements have arrived. It's Vice Admiral Garp. Yes, we're saved.
Okay, so I'm very, very curious to see how this plays out because I think, like, realistically, my current big picture idea is just that Garp is gonna, number one, he just wants to make sure that the Navy dudes aren't just literally killed for no reason. That's like assumption number one. Number two, he probably wants to beef with Roger. But I'm very curious to see what happens to the God Knights. That's like the thing that, because I do not see him really caring about them. Because even if you think about it, like, in terms of their introductions, bro, he is introduced in the same exact way as Rox and Roger. Like, he is literally introduced as basically another pirate who's just like, stop killing my dudes, I'm gonna beat you up. He's literally doing the same thing as them, you know? So I think in terms of, like, this dynamic, it will have very, very little to do with the God Knights, and I just want to know what happens with the God Knights. God Valley incident has to be shown the entire time this time. The chapter of the chapter title is literally like Oda's way to open up a new arc or something. I mean, if this is where the flashback ends, I think I will lose my mind. I think I'm gonna lose my mind. But no, like, if you actually want my full-blown, like, take on this, I don't think it can, like, purely in the way the narrative is told, I don't think it's gonna end here, for the simple reason there is still a very bizarre cut between Dragon saving Shanks and Shanks being in the chest. That doesn't make sense from a writing perspective. Not an Oda writing perspective, but just a writing perspective. It feels like a very, very weird disconnect that would have been tied up if this were the actual end. So, no. I think we're yet to see the end of this. I'm almost certain of that. Y'all are writing paragraphs. I'm fighting for my life. Hold up. Do you think Gold Roger and Luffy would get along? Bro, they'd be best buds. It'd be insane. The only possible scenario I think of this being cut off is next chapter showing Harold's reaction. Yeah, I don't think this is the end. The first is that God Valley is where Dragon is branded the world's worst criminal, and saying Roger and Garp saved everyone from rocks since he disappeared is to emphasize how bad Dragon is. I find it incredibly suspect. I don't think Rocks dies here. I don't buy that. Like, at all. I just don't see Rocks dying here. Under no circumstances does it make sense. Because if we're thinking about power dynamics, what Roger and Rocks, then again, I mean, I just don't think there is anyone on this island who could kill Rocks and wants to kill Rocks. Is the thing that I'm thinking about. I don't think there is a single person on this island capable and has the motive. Well, they do have the motive, but they're not capable. Right? And everyone who could kill Rocks, I don't think really wants to kill Rocks. Because this entire flashback has been about how Roger's era, there really weren't any death duels. Like, even with Shaki's bar, they were just hanging around. And if they're here to save Shaki, I think it would be another contest of strength and not to death. Gunko, Domi reverse side Rocks, Roger kills Rocks, Garp defeats Roger, world government says Garp is hero of Navy. Okay, hold up. So, Gunko reverses Rocks, plausible. Roger kills Rocks, Garp defeats Roger, world government says Garp is hero of the Navy. If he were to be flipped, that would make sense why people actually begin to unload on him. That would make sense. Emu 100% played a part in Rocks' downfall. Yeah, I think the most the likeliest option here is Rocks being reversed and then someone killing him because he was reversed and not Rocks, right? But the thing is, we never saw what happens when someone is reversed in the present day. We only saw someone being reversed. We don't know what happens after that. And clearly the whole thing falls apart because Shanks gets away, Blackbeard gets away, Roger gets away, and pretty much everyone else is intact, right? So there is some kind of explosive moment right in the middle of God Valley that constitutes the complete erasure of the island. But what the hell is it? Garp is ashamed of what actually went down in God Valley. I think Garp was named hero of the Marines for basically in the same way that Smoker got the thing for Alabasta. So I think the reason why he's ashamed is just because they basically used him as the scapegoat, or not the scapegoat. I guess they put him in honor, right? What's the theory? What's the theory y'all are liking? Emu will come and start killing every Davy clan and Rock will sacrifice himself to save Teach. I think in terms of like big picture ideas, I think Blackbeard must know about his dad. I think he needs to hold Rocks in like actual I need to avenge my dad type of honor. So I think you're right in terms of that there is going to be some kind of very, very clear Blackbeard and Rocks interaction. And I can also see Rocks being flipped by Emu. So if we put these two things together, there could be a situation where Blackbeard but If Blackbeard witnesses Emu flip rocks, and then rocks die at the hands of someone, that could be why. And another important detail, Saturn is here. And guess whose form Blackbeard now has? Well, not Blackbeard, Devon. So hypothetically, could he see that Rox is flipped, Rox dies, Blackbeard is like, what the hell is this? And then years and years and years later, he literally basically reverse Uno's Emu by using the form of Saturn to infiltrate Marie Joie and kills Emu? Maybe the Davy clan had some sort of genetic memory and that's why the world government want them dead so badly. I don't think, like, I don't know what to think about the world government and trying to erase people they don't like, because they're the most inconsistent, dumb bunch that has ever been evil. Like, they play these games with basically every other race, right? Like, they don't care. But clearly, like, the sun god is something that is existential to them, and they would erase it, like, outside of any God Valley game. So I think if they really wanted to get rid of the Davy clan, they wouldn't include them in this game, right? And that's what's confusing to me. Because if they know the Davy clan exists here, why do they exist here? Why aren't they dead? That's what I keep going back to the point of the 5 elder clowns, because every single time they want to get rid of an existential threat, they do something dumb and fail. Every single time. They don't even know how to be evil, right? So I don't know. I don't think there is anything that is that specific about the Davy clan in terms of, like, practicalities. But I don't know, because, like, the same thing happened with Luffy. It's just arrogance. It is, but the thing, like, they are extremely flip-floppy, right? Because they are playing these games, which, okay, whatever. You want to keep your people in order, whatever. But when we saw Leloucia, they lost control this much. They lost this much control over the situation. The island is vaporized. No, nothing. It was this big of a problem, vaporized. Why aren't they doing this with the Davy kids? It's not like they are always arrogant and, like, comically evil. They do scheme and they do like very, very shady things behind the scenes. But they're also incredibly dumb and incompetent. Because if the Davy kids weren't here, they could still do this, like, special rabbits with the Buccaneers, right? So I don't understand. I really don't understand what the rationale is. It's a humiliation ritual to the descendants of Davy D. Jones. Yeah, but practically no one knows about it, right? And if you just erase them, well, then they wouldn't even exist. Erasing Leloucia is about testing the Mother Flame and was chosen for the... Yeah, yes. But still, in terms of the way they operate, right? That's what I'm talking about. Not in terms of, like, exact details about a certain incident. That's whatever. Like, they've ordered buster calls, they've ordered a bunch of things. But in terms of how they operate, the moment they actually lose control, they literally go scorched earth on everything. That's what I'm confused by. The buster calls are even kind of, like, small. The buster calls weren't even that strong, I guess. Egghead would be a better example, where they just sent in all the elders at once, right? It wasn't like a build-up. They just dropped in all the elders.
The very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name.
My theory is Emu tried to flip rocks but can't control him cause Davy clan. He goes insane, so they nuke the island leaving his fate ambiguous and then just say a GARP, we're just gonna say you did it.
Okay, that's that. But why wouldn't it work on the day? It's just like a binary thing? Maybe. Are there any other things that have worked like that? I mean, I guess there have. There have been, like, other bloodline elements. But I think, like, the reversal thing, it was introduced way too conveniently for it not to be used, right? I don't know. Maybe. I do think you're right about GARP just getting the, like, the fame for it, for, like, just like you did it, whatever. How did God Valley disappear if they don't have the Mother Flame? Yeah, I don't know. Hate to say it, but a lot of the world government's actions of letting stuff slide just seems like the plot to keep the story going. I mean, I do think there are a few times where, like, they are... Realistically, the story should have stopped. You know? But I don't know. Especially now that we know they can, like, teleport around. That's like the biggest thing. If they have like the marking, they could just teleport in there. And like by that logic, like where are the teleports? And how many other people could have you just like nuked with 5 elders at once? So I don't know. I think he will tie to Harold in the end. He has to pull up on God Valley. Yeah, I think you're also right about Harold, and that's what I'm really struggling here. That's what I'm really struggling here. Because we know that there is something about not about Rox, something about Blackbeard. And because there is something about Blackbeard, there's also something special about Rox, right? And at the same time, we have this entire like trinity of powers that is Rox, GARP, and Roger. And that's a whole thing here, and we still have there are so many things going on in like completely, because Marineford was very simple. Everyone fighting for Ace, everyone fighting against Ace, right? Very simple. In this situation, there are like 15 different motivations for 15 different factions and like 20 different individuals who are a part of factions, but they're not actually aligned with their faction. Because we have Emu, right, who is a completely detached actor who is kind of with the God Knights, but really he's probably going to be operating in a way that ensures their survival in like a big picture capacity. Roger is just here to save a woman. Rox here is just to save a woman, but also his kid, kind of, I guess, you know. The God Knights are just kind of killing everything. We have Garp, who is kind of ambiguous what the hell he's doing. We have the two devil children, which is Dante and Virgil. I am so confused. So confused. So confused. Because this is going to have like such a cascading effect. And you know what the best part about this is? We know how this ends. Like, we know what the world looks like in the present day, right? We know literally what happens for the next 40 years-ish. But I've got no idea what happens here. And that is very hard to do. The fact that we know, like, so much about the present day, but we don't know anything about how this could even go. That's crazy to me. Literally no idea. The only thing that I find extremely suspect is the fact that there is the guy with the straw hat. I find that incredibly suspect. Very suspect. I wonder if Garp knows the dragon is here. I mean, I would suspect he does. Which, by the way, how the hell is that gonna work? Wait, I gotta consult the wiki.
Final theory, dragon saves only one mid and it's Shamrock, which is why Shanks ends up in a chest, and he's Dragon's inside man in the God Knights.
Oh wait, you mean Shamrock would be an inside plant? Or what do you mean? Hold up, let me do this. Shamrock is Dragon's inside man? I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think I like that. That would have to have like very serious writing fire behind it for it to work, in my opinion. Because otherwise the whole thing with Shanks, I think, wouldn't really hit the same. I want Shanks to have like duality with Shamrock and not Dragon. I don't like that. I don't like that. Also, Shamrock's an ass. What I was going to say, Dragon is the world's worst criminal. And this is where Garp is also held up as the hero of the Marines. And that happens here. I have like literally 1,000 different thoughts about how this could go and why. Do we know like exactly? Does Dragon immediately get out of the Marines right after God Valley? Money!
I think one of the Erders is the inside man. That explains why they are so incompeted.
This is my favorite theory. He's just like one of the elders is actually working for Dragon. That's why they're so dumb. True and real. True and real. Thank you for the super chat, though. So, currently, we only know that sometime after the God Valley incident. I'm trying to make sense of how he might have... How smuggling out one of the like sacred kids, the fated kids, could have caused all of this, and how that's when he might have gone rogue, and how he potentially might have teamed up with one of them. I don't think I can piece this together, like, honestly, because this is like such a crazy domino effect. That where the hell does where is he gonna get out, and who does he get out with? Because Shanks is in the chest, so clearly he doesn't escape. And why only one? Did Loki know Shamrock? I don't remember. Remind me, did Loki know Shamrock? Because I've got a terrible theory. No? Okay. Then I don't, he knows Shanks? Okay, never mind. Never mind. I was thinking, like, what if I saw you say that Harold might help him out. And I was thinking, what if Harold raised Shamrock, and Shamrock was like, man, I really like this world government stuff. And then he realized that he is actually one of the royals, right? And then he went back. But no, if he doesn't know Loki, then that wouldn't be possible. How the hell does Shamrock go from being rescued to being evil? How does that happen? How does that happen? Unless... No. Now we're gonna be thinking about the dumbest things ever. Hold up. Now I'm gonna be analyzing the weirdest things ever. Wait a minute. Because I'm just thinking, what if he just didn't know what their names were? And what if Shamrock grew up on Elbaf and he looked just like Shanks, and eventually he left, and that's why Loki thought he looked just like Shanks, but that wasn't Shanks, that was Shamrock. And then when Shanks actually pulled up, he looked like Shamrock, but now he was actually Shanks. But that's like such a weird quirk that I don't think that's possible. It's the dragon and Shamrock of it all that currently has like my brain spinning. Because I think there's the way Oda has written Harold is there is a certain degree of like tragedy underneath it all, where he submits to the world government, right? And that's why I was thinking, what if Shamrock is in some way raised under Harold, and he like begins to like really get closer to like this whole kingly stuff and world government stuff, right? And that's maybe why he turns out so incredibly different. Because otherwise, how could this even happen? You're assuming Harold comes to God Valley? Not necessarily. It could be some, because like he gets out, right? But no, you would have to assume that he comes to God Valley, because why would he stick one of the kids in a chest and the other he takes with him? Yeah, you're right. This is like shoddy assumptions. I don't know. I think I need to sleep on this and think about this. This is such an insane, like, and also actually ignore everything I said. Ignore everything I said. The reason why Rox is here is because they staged a thing with Harold. Harold's not coming. I don't think Harold's coming at all. The only reason why Rox is here is because Harold basically wrote himself out. Like, one very simple explanation that I could see is that Dragon stuck both of them in chests because he thought that Roger and Rox would just get them. That's one thing that I could see happening, where he just stuck the kids in the chests and basically assumed that either one of them is gonna get them. Which, I mean, it worked out with Roger, right? Kind of, I guess. And another thing that complicates all of this is I am so confused, because why would Shamrock even be fine? Not Shamrock. Why would Garling even be fine with Shamrock growing up in the God Knights? That's like another thing that has me very confused, because he was going to kill all of them, no problems. So if he ended up in the God Knights, why is Garling even okay with it? So he can't be in the chest. Bro, I don't know. I give up. And there's a break next week, right? Why did he even have kids in the first place? Because he's an ass, that's why. I highly doubt Dragon wanted that outcome. Sure, Dragon is conflicted about the Marines and world government now, but most Marines joined because they hate pirates. Yeah, like sticking them into the cave and like hoping that one of them yoinks them, I feel like that's it's like a perspective from a One Piece reader, right? And not really Dragon in universe. I think you're right about that. I think I'm saying that as a reader of One Piece and not Dragon. Which makes me even more confused, because why in the chest? Why chest? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave it there for today, because I feel like we're gonna go in circles, and I think this is just like something we need to sleep on. Gotta sleep on this. We gotta sleep on this. If the next chapter doesn't show us God Valley, it would be diabolical. Would be very, very diabolical. Thanks a lot for joining me. I've said this many times, but I hope to be back a few more times throughout the week. We'll see, because I've got more dentist appointments this week as well. This is not when I'm going to get my wisdom teeth pulled, but I do have more appointments that I need to go to before that. So we'll see how messed up I am, and we'll see what happens. All right, that's it. Goodbye.